And so, what a big question on everyone's mind. What in the world is 2020 all about? Let's say in numerology as a year, maybe if there's a way to explain even how the word COVID it relates to numerology and where we're going with this. I know those are big questions, but I think a lot of people would be very pleased to have that insight into what this is all about.
Yeah, well, in January, every January, I put out a YouTube video to discuss what my feelings are for the upcoming year. And at that point in time, I certainly did not see a pandemic coming. But what I did describe for 2020 was when we look at 2020, 2 plus 0 was 2 plus 0 equals 4. We know that we're looking at a 4 universal year. So what that means is every single one of us on the planet is under the influence of a 4 energy, regardless of what personal year you're in. So for example, you're in a 2 personal year, your wife's in a 9 personal year, but both of you are being showered with this umbrella of 4 energy that's coming from the universe, okay? So the 4 energy says, the 4 is always about focus. The scary thing about the 4 is that it'll cause you to focus really, really well, but most people want to do well. So they get focused on the obstacles that are standing in their way of being able to do well. So for example, the year, universal year of 3 last year would have been a lot more footloose, fancy free, a little bit more carefree and whatnot. And then bam, we go into this 4 universal year and it's like everybody's uptight and focusing on what they don't like and focusing that we're in lockdown right now and all those things that are happening. But the 4 is a brilliant year. The 4 energy is extremely timely for us to be going through what we're going through right now because it asks us to reset. It's asking us to revisit our foundations. It's asking us to review, reconnect, to rebuild. It's asking us to examine our financial situation. Have we been living beyond our means? It's asking us to take a look at the jobs that we're in. Is this going in the right direction? Is this education that I'm spending so much money and time on, is this where I really need to be going? It's asking you to stop, and just sort of sit with it and review and reflect and make better choices, right? So what better way to do that than to stop the planet, you know? And when you think about it, given what we're going through, and when you read about from an environmental perspective, there's a huge hole in the ozone layer that's been there forever, has healed, has completely closed over the Arctic. You know, the dolphins are coming into the canals in Italy. You know, there's just so much good. The smog has lifted off cities where people are looking out their windows going, holy crap, look at that. I never knew we had, you know, that was over there kind of thing, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's like they're seeing a whole different world. So the planet is starting to breathe and we're all starting to stop and we're starting to appreciate all our friends that we can't see right now. We're starting to appreciate our families more. We're not focused on the petty details anymore so much. We're really, you know, looking at how, how we're living.